The same roads now I'm begging here. Please, anything helps.
Chinedu, once proud and untouchable, became a beggar on the street. The same roads he had walked in expensive suits now became the roads where he sat with dusty clothes and empty hands. Day after day, he begged for food and transport fare. Shame wrapped itself around him like a heavy cloth. One afternoon, as he sat beside the road near a traffic light, a black SUV slowed down. Inside was a woman in dark shades, beautifully neatly covered and her face calm. She was being driven to a meeting in the city. The driver noticed a poor man at the roadside and almost drove past, but the woman suddenly lifted her head. She froze. It was Chinedu, older, broken, thin, ashamed, but still him. He looked at her car and saw only a wealthy stranger. He did not recognize her. He bowed his head and stretched out his hand for help, but Ngozi sat quietly behind the
tinted glass, staring at the man who once threw away her heart. "Please, slow down," told the driver to move on.
One day, Chinedu could not bear the shame of his life anymore. He decided to return to the village, hoping to find Ngozi and ask for forgiveness. He told himself that if he could just see her face, maybe she would remember the love they once shared. So he went back to the village. But the village had changed. People no longer spoke of Ngozi as a struggling farmer. They spoke of her as Madam Ngozi of Harvest Global Farms. Chinedu asked for directions to her house, but the villagers laughed and told him that Ngozi no longer lived in the old village compound. She had moved to the city years ago and now lived in a mansion with her new family. She had remarried a good man who loved her deeply, and together they had 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl. Chinedu's knees weakened. He could not believe it. When he finally reached the mansion, he stood at the gate and stared like a man dreaming. High walls surrounded the house. Cameras watched every corner. Flower gardens bloomed neatly. A beautiful signboard bearing her company's name stood at the entrance. Ngozi had risen. He begged to see her. At last, she came out. She looked nothing like the broken village wife he had abandoned. She was elegant, graceful, powerful, and calm. There was peace in her eyes, but there was also a distance that could not be crossed. Chinedu dropped to his knees and began to cry. He confessed everything. "I am begging you for forgiveness. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I lost everything, and now I understand the value of the woman I once threw away."
Chinedu, I loved you when we had nothing. I carried your dream on my back. I suffered for your future. But when success came, you denied the hand that lifted you. I forgave you long ago in my heart, but I did not return to the past.